Guys, Martin here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a little look, advanced look I should say, at the AGL Rosé with his Super EZA. This is going to be coming out on the 10th. This will be Thursday morning, so this video is dropping on Tuesday the 8th. We are using the private server because obviously these units are in the data download, and AGL Rosé is definitely another piece to the puzzle of making the Super Bosses team under the new Rosé and Zamasu actually a proper full viable team, because as we talked about in the videos so far, Goku's dropped with this already crazy powerhouse team, right, with the 10-year fusions and stuff like that, whereas Super Bosses is not exactly the, you know, the craziest team, but the pieces are coming together for it, and this guy is going to be another one of them. So remember, of course, Super EZAs don't change the leader skill or the super attack effect. Fortunately, his super attack did already greatly raise defense for one turn, so that is good. Immense damage to the enemy greatly lowers defense. Lowest defense is whatever, but is what it is. So we get 200% attack and defense, 20% damage reduction, all allies key 3 and attack and defense 30%. It's all allies as well, so obviously this is very good. Gives him that ability to be thrown onto other teams to still be a support. Even though obviously later parts of his passive could clash with that, but we'll cover that. And then he just gets an additional super attack, so Buhan style, like he will always do a second super, so that's very good. When he receives an attack, he gets 200% defense. If you're at 70% or less HP, he gets an extra 100% defense, so that's very good. For each attack received, he builds up 60% attack up to 300, so he needs to get hit 5 times. He builds up crit chance 10% up to 50, and damage reduction 25% within the turn up to 50. So he's got 20% damage reduction. When he gets hit the first time, it then goes up to 45. Then he gets hit again, and it goes up to 70, so it's pretty good. And when all allies in the same turn are extreme, or when there's one other Future Saga ally, he has guard, so that coupled with that damage reduction is really, really good. And then he gives super class allies 20% crit chance, and extreme class allies 20% crit chance for 2 turns. So definitely very, very strong. The only thing, of course, that will be his big weakness is he gets hit and he builds up damage reduction from taking those first 2 hits. So obviously if the first hit of the turn that he takes is a super, then he potentially could take quite a bit of damage. But we've got the Super Bosses team. I threw on the Int hit because we haven't really used him on this team build before. I've got the temporarily boosted Int Rosé. The only problem, I guess, with this build is we end up with a lot of characters who are named Rosé. So we end up with like this issue over here. But hopefully we get the Int LR Fusion Zamasu EZA within like the next week, and that'll be another unit with a different name we can throw on the team. So he's got 311k defense start of turn, so bear in mind that means if he was in slot 1 and he gets hit, he instantly goes up to 900k with guard and 20% damage reduction from taking that first hit. So obviously if he was to take a big super straight away, that wouldn't be ideal, but he will get to attack first, and he greatly raises defense, so that's a 50% raise, and he's going to super at least twice, right, because he could then get the hidden potential as well. So I think he's looking like he's in a pretty good spot from what we can see here so far. But let's go ahead and grab these for you, and then yeah, we'll see how we get on. Obviously we know STR Rosé is going to be perfectly fine in slot 1. I just realised the game sound wasn't on, so there we go. On just in time to get started with the action, that's the important thing. So yeah, Rosé will tank this, and then let's see what AGL Rosé. Now the big thing you can see from AGL Rosé's kit is he doesn't have a lot of attack in his passive. He's got a lot of building up defense. Obviously he needs to get hit multiple times in order to build up his attack, so he's not going to be hitting insanely hard straight away. And then obviously if you are running him on the team as like a 3rd slot floating support unit, it's possible you're going to get multiple turns in. Like if he's on turn 1, he's coming back on turn 4, then on turn 7. There's a possibility that, you know, you get to that point turn 7 and he's only been hit like once or twice, right? So you can see 7 million attack stat to start us off. Nothing too crazy. And of course he doesn't raise attack on super, so the additional super is still going to be the same. But we do get the defense raise, which is obviously very good. So of course, unsurprisingly, tanking for double digits in this early stage. We want to be able to hopefully get him some more hits in, but with this Vegeta event, it's always a good event to showcase characters because he's got a ton of HP, and he always supers in slot 1, so you kind of don't need to run the risk of like random unit in slot 3 gets killed by a super before we get back to the turn of the showcase unit, which is always really, really annoying when that happens. So we can go ahead and have you over here, you here. Obviously in this event the downside for the Zamasu Goku is of course he literally can't get a finishing blow because it's only a 1-phase fight, but either way he's still a solid unit. We need a rotation like this for the AGL Rose, really, where there's like 3 attacks in slot 2. So you can really start to get that build up, because 300% extra attack is going to be pretty good for him. I'm not expecting him to hit absolutely insane numbers, because he is a very good support unit. The fact that he gives the crit support for 2 turns is really nice as well, because obviously it just means everybody on this rotation now has a higher chance to crit, thanks to the previous turn. Of course I say that and then like we don't get any crits as the turn starts playing out, but getting that 20% extra crit chance is pretty nice, especially for characters who have crit chance built in already. 56 million for the boosted in Rose, that's insane. That's with a little bit of support from the Goku, like Zamasu Goku, but we haven't even got started yet with all the like STR Rose active skills, physical Rose domain. Like this team, one of the things I love about this team, now having used it in practice and just seeing this like cascade effect, like this domino effect just go off of like using STR Rose's active skill, then on the next turn use the other STR Rose active skill, and then you've got such an insane amount of support. And then with characters like Zamasu Goku, AGL Rose, physical Rose's domain, like this team can pump out so much extra support for these characters that they end up hitting some very, very impressive numbers. So definitely love to see that. Can we get some decent attacks? Okay, yeah, we got... Is that 3? Or is that just 2? Okay, we got 3 attacks in slot 2. Okay, so we can get a couple more. Oh, get a couple more hits in for AGL Rose here. So same situation as before, same links, same defense, no support. So just the same old scenario here. It won't be till we get the Zamasu Goku in slot 3 that we'll see a big change. Well, I say a big change, but we'll have that little bit of support. But we'll have also gotten the 3 hits that we took this turn. So then be ready for the number to jump up significantly, ready for the next turn for the attack stat here for Rose. Because what did we have turn 1? It was like 7 million. So let's see what we get. But yeah, I mean, very much like the Zamasu Goku that I've already done the video for. He is a character that is going to be very solid, hold his own relatively well. But obviously if you get into the situation where he does eat a super in slot 3, then he is going to take some pretty significant damage. It's up to 11 million here now, after only having received 1 hit on the previous turn. So that's a pretty good jump. Jumped up by about 4 million. And now we're going to take a good 3 attacks here. We get the hidden potential as well, but unfortunately it was only a normal. That'll make a very big difference as well, because obviously if he supers first, his defense is getting up to higher levels, and then when he gets hit... Okay, so random coughing fit part way through the video subsided. We are back around to this turn with AGL Rose. I activated the physical Rose domain on the previous turn, so we are now getting this extra buff. We've got the support from the Zamasu Goku as well. So now our start of turn defense is 409k. So bear in mind that means when he gets hit, he's immediately jumping up to 1.2 and has 20% damage reduction with that 1.2. And then goes up to 45% damage reduction and 1.2 million defense for when he's going to take the next hit. And has guard on top of all of that as well. So if we go ahead, and we don't need to keep seeing all of the animations for these guys. If we go ahead and use STR Rose's active skill here, that now gives the massive extra buff to Super Bosses and Extreme Future Saga allies. So that puts AGL Rose at 512k start of turn. And bear in mind, he's 1 attack away from being fully built up from his passive, because he's been attacked 4 times. Yeah, 4 times. He needs to be attacked 5 times to get fully maxed out. So let's see. Now, this is a crazy turn for STR Rose as well, because we've got all of this support and his active skill now active. Because obviously the Rainbow level 10 Links version of Rose here. So what is he doing? 62.4 million. Jeez. Man, this Rosé is so good. I love this unit so much. Until this team gets another crazy, like, oh yeah, you can put this unit in slot 1 and they're just going to be untouchable. I feel like I'm not going to be using Zamasu really ever, like, all that much. Because Zamasu can hit harder than Rosé. Like, on this turn, Zamasu would be hitting insanely hard, right, if Rosé's hitting this hard. But he's a slot 2 unit. And no one else really on this team build can kind of take the slot 1 role. The other Rosé could, but then if you have them both on the same turn, you don't have a slot 1 unit on the other rotation. But see, now look at, with all of these buffs, with the domain, he's up to 36 million here now. So I mean, that on top of all the support that he's providing is pretty insane. And of course now we are fully built up finally. So I think the physical Rosé domain will last until this next turn when we come back. But I also didn't use the other STR Goku Black's active skill. So on this next rotation, we'll use STR Rosé's active to get the extra buff. I actually don't know. Vegeta might not even survive until it comes back around to the turn again. Because we will probably do a pretty hefty bit of damage on the next turn as well. Especially with the active skill buff from STR Rosé. So if we go ahead and do this, I should have unlinked him with the physical Rosé, I guess, because then he would have done a little bit less damage. But 81 million crit. Let's go for, like, we just won't give him a ton of ki. We won't give physical Rosé any rainbow orbs, so he won't do any additionals. We won't do that many. He'll still get some of his built-in additionals, but he's not going to do too many attacks. And then we'll see if Vegeta does actually survive the turn. Because, I mean, this guy's still getting the effects of, like, the physical Rosé domain and the other Rosé active skill and his own one. So, fortunately, of course, Vegeta does have an insane amount of HP. So, that does help. So, yeah, obviously tanked for double digits. Physical Rosé getting all of his attacks off here. It's funny with these events now, with like the bosses having huge amounts of HP and like so many characters now just having multiple built-in attacks, additional attacks, the number of times the bosses attack. It feels like even just your general like showcase sort of video now is so much longer because the events take longer, characters are doing so many attacks, it's like the turns take longer. We just want to get back to AGL Rosé and see him at his peak here on the next turn. With the physical domain, double STR Rosé active skill being active. I guess he won't have a support in slot 3 though, sadly. It's going to be the int Rosé. But wait, is that 500k? Wait, what? Damn. Why did hit take so much damage? I guess... No Universe 6 allies? Does that matter all that much though? Really? That's kind of crazy. Although I suppose, to be fair, we don't have the... well, this would have actually potentially run out by then anyway. Damn, I was not expecting hit to sell like that, but... Alright, well, we saw this guy get up to, what, 30 odd million attack stats. He gets up to, you know, sort of like 1.5 million defense with guard and increasing damage reduction. So... very, very strong, very good support. Will definitely be a key piece for this Rosé team. Obviously, once we get the actual in-game EZA, Super EZA, get him awakened and everything, I'll be doing more events and stuff on my actual account. I'm not sure what build he's got on the private server, but yeah, I definitely want to go full additional for him, I think, because it's not really important for him to crit, and he builds up crit chance anyway in his passive, so you want that third super for the extra defense raise, I think. But yeah, he's super, super good. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.